now invite
Conasatashif. Gahanawai. 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 Why wouldn't we be Gahanawai? Here we are on what some people call the first day of spring, and you could actually believe it today, couldn't you? It really is a very beautiful day. We think back to those days 200 years ago, when on this day 200 years ago, in the words of, well, to paraphrase the great poem that we all learned at school about this day, Bicentenary, we all know it, Tanladal Conchino, and it talks about Ardoig me Machiol, and back 200 years ago, the sail was raised of this, that started this journey, this 200-year journey that the Brigidine started, 6 of them, 6 women. We just think back in 1807, what it was like for those 6 women to take what was the most remarkable and radical step in a world that didn't really encourage women to be radical, to put it mildly, and in a world that didn't encourage, in particular, Catholic women to be radical. We think back to those times when it was a very unequal society, a time when Christians oppressed one another, when it was a difficult time to be both a Catholic and a woman. And here we are 200 years later, and it has taken a great deal of those 200 years to make this country a much more equal, egalitarian and happier place. And over that 200-year journey, the Brigidines have played such a phenomenal role through the women who committed to that life, made the life theirs. Why did they do it? Was there glory in it? There was not. Was there money in it? There was not. Was there sacrifice in it? There most surely was. Was there generosity in it? Yes, there was. It was all about giving. It was all about giving to others, taking their own genius, taking their own talents, taking their time, taking the time that was their lived lives, and giving it as a gift to this Ireland, and indeed to many other parts of the world, in order that they would flourish, in order that there would come a time when young women, young men, of all colours, all creeds, all views, would grow up as equals, as these women who started the Brigidines all those years ago, and who continued its tradition, believed that it was the will of God, that people would live in peace and harmony together, each one acknowledging the complete uniqueness of the other human being and their entitlement to their freedom, their space. No one oppressing anyone else, no one putting false barriers around the road that person's life might take. So we owe a lot to those first 6 women, and we owe a lot to the many, many Brigidines who have, since that time, taken on that mantle, handed on that baton, and in their own way planted all those acorns over the years. Back then, 6 of them were making a start. It was a good time to start, a springtime. And the order has known great summers, great autumns. But I think that for the 80 or so women who now comprise the order in this part of the world, they may be feeling on this 200th anniversary that maybe there is a hint of winter around as they grow older, and as they look behind them and see that very few now take on this vocation. And to them, I want to say something particularly important, because it is this, that, even oak trees do not last forever. Even the mighty oak is not going to last forever. But in a curious kind of way, it lasts in ways that are much more subtle. It lasts through the acorns and the saplings that it has grown, the new life that it has by its very presence, and its presence alone, given life to. And so we look at the work that has been done by the Brigidines over 200 years, and we first of all are extraordinarily grateful for it. And we say to them, a job incredibly well done, brilliantly done, done with such heart, done with such passion, done with such love, such a huge investment in our country and in countries very, very far away, that brought the name of Ireland to those countries and brought an image of Ireland, of a place with a heart with a caring heart for the poor and the marginalised of the world that we in this generation benefit from, for we have so many friends around the world that you have helped us make. So first of all, we owe you a huge debt of gratitude, but we also owe you enormous support and encouragement in these days with that hint of winter about them. Because it's important that we say to you that while that's how it may appear, please be reassured there are many, many, many saplings growing. There are many, many people who have taken the Brigidine charism, have made it their own, and are living the Brigidine charism in all sorts of lives and in all sorts of places. So in fact, you are still watching the full spring, the full summer of your work. And indeed, please God, will continue to do so for many generations to come. This work, this charism, that in today's world finds so much common cause with the poorest of the poor, with marginalised communities here in Ireland, that makes friends of those who are newcomers to Ireland, understanding the extraordinary pain that it is to lift your family, come away from your own culture, from your mother, your father, your aunts, your uncles, your familiar hearth, to come to a strange place to seek to make a new life. The Brigidines have made great friends with those who have come here and been their friends, with our own travelling community who over many generations have experienced such marginalisation, and for whom we now hope that in a very short period of time that they too will feel the benefits, the huge benefits that Ireland is currently experiencing, that it will course through the travelling community so that those children and their children's children will see their full genius flourish in peace and in the fulfilment of heart and the peace of mind that comes from knowing that your children are not only fully accepted, but have every opportunity to make their greatest contribution to life around them. The Brigidines making common cause with our travelling community, making common cause with women who are, and children for that matter, who are trafficked by criminal gangs all over the world, who have no concept of human dignity, no concept of respect for the human person. And there again we find the Brigidines with that special charism, those special hands, and that phenomenal heart that they have. So to each of you, and to those of you who belong to that extraordinary band of just over 80, where once you could be numbered in thousands, I say to you, you're entitled to our encouragement for the next 200 years that lie ahead. And we wish you well in it. And on this day, I think when we plant an oak tree, I think that we are along with you, standing side by side with you, as friends to you, as debtors to you, as we plant another oak tree, and again, as they did 200 years ago, when they once again Ardóigh which, or Ardid Dardig which are Hiol in you. We raise that sail again, and we look out to the next 200 years, and frankly, if it's any bit as good as the last 200 years, it'll be a mighty time, and an extraordinary time. And we know it will be a wonderful time because we look at what has happened over the course of the last 200 years, and in particular, we look at our homeland and the huge changes that have taken place even in the last decade. So much so that our children, the smaller children who are here, will probably have no concept whatever, none whatever, of an Ireland that was anything but multicultural, high-achieving and confident. Isn't that an extraordinary thing? An extraordinary thing. But a very important thing, that world that has so much materially would continue to have that Brigidine charism also in its heart, that heart of care for one another, that heart that makes community and that looks out for those who are hurting, those who are falling through the gaps. It was a huge gap that the Brigidines came to fill 200 years ago. And thank goodness that gap has just got smaller and smaller and smaller, thanks to the Brigidines. God bless every one of you. Thank you for that vocation, and thank you for allowing us to join you on this amazing day of celebration. And thanks to all those who have made this celebration just so very special, so meaningful, so moving, but especially to the Brigidines. enjoy every bit of it. You've certainly earned it the hard way. Gurmila Maithil.
President McAleese, thank you so much for your encouraging words, your affirming words, and your inspiring words. You have enhanced and enriched this day for us in a very significant way. And on behalf of the Brigidine sisters, we would like you to accept a bronze St. Bridget's cross in memory of this day. Sister Mary Dalton will now present it to you. A Uachtarán na hÉireann, go raibh míle maith agat bheith anseo inniuh, agus inis tá brona oring a rá, slán na bhaile, agus go nairi an bortha leat, agus fé bhrat bríde, go raibh tú agus de clown I gcónaí. Go raibh míle maith agat.
Ngaud molta bride on venit on venlegach chiri molami aleri lokren gal na la